Ladies and gentlemen, life is a journey, one that demands resilience, strength, and wisdom. Along the way, we encounter different people, some who uplift us and others who try to control us. Among the most challenging are manipulative individuals. These are the people who intentionally or unintentionally twist the truth, exploit vulnerabilities, and seek to dominate the space they occupy in your life. But here's the thing. Manipulation is not about the power they hold over you. It's about the power you choose to give them. You, my dear, have the strength to break free from their grip. You have the power to reclaim your peace and your voice. The first step in dealing with manipulative people is recognizing them. Once you identify their tactics, you can protect yourself and stay true to your values, your boundaries, and ultimately your sense of self-worth. Today, I want to share with you powerful strategies that will help you not only deal with manipulative people, but rise above them and live your life in a way that is authentic, free, and full of peace. Understanding manipulation is the first step to freedom. Manipulation is a powerful weapon. It's often not loud or aggressive, but quiet and insidious. It sneaks into our lives, masquerading as concern, love, or kindness. You might not even realize you're being manipulated until you're deep in the cycle, tangled in a web of guilt and confusion. But let me tell you this. The first step to regaining control is understanding what manipulation truly is. When you start to recognize the signs, you begin to free yourself from its grasp. Manipulation is never about love. It's about control. Manipulative people don't care about your feelings. They care about getting their own needs met, often at your expense. They may pretend to be caring, but everything they do is calculated to serve their agenda. This is something we need to wake up to. The sooner you recognize that the manipulation is happening, the sooner you can take your power back, and that power is yours to claim. No one can take it from you unless you let them. So, how do you begin to spot manipulation? It's not always easy. It's hidden in the little things, the guilt trips, the emotional blackmail, the passive-aggressive behavior. When someone tells you they did it for you or sacrificed so much for you, what they're really doing is making you feel indebted to them. They want you to owe them. They want to put you in a position where you can't say no without feeling like a bad person. But the moment you realize this, something incredible happens. You begin to see through the smoke and mirrors. Manipulation can only work if you're unaware of it. When you're awake to its tactics, it loses its power. You stop feeling guilty when you stand up for yourself. You stop feeling obligated to give and give until there's nothing left of you. And most importantly, you stop accepting behavior that doesn't honor your worth. Now, let's talk about emotional manipulation. This is the kind that targets your most vulnerable emotions: fear, sadness, loneliness. Manipulative people know that by triggering these emotions, they can get you to do what they want. They play on your fears and insecurities, making you believe that without them, you'll be lost. But what you need to remember is that you are whole without anyone else. You do not need someone to validate your existence or make you feel secure. It's important to remember that manipulation is not your fault. It's a reflection of the manipulator's inability to live with honesty and integrity. They lack the tools to communicate their needs directly, so they turn to manipulation as a way of getting what they want. But when you learn to spot these behaviors, you take away their ability to control you. Recognizing manipulation also means understanding the value of your own boundaries. Manipulative people thrive when they know you don't have boundaries. They push and prod, trying to get you to give more than you're comfortable with. But when you know what you will and won't tolerate, you stop giving them the power to override your needs. Setting boundaries isn't about being selfish, it's about being self-aware. It's about acknowledging that your well-being matters just as much as anyone else's. And when you stop letting manipulation control you, you start to live life on your own terms. You stop bending to the will of others, and you start to move toward the life you were meant to live. Understanding manipulation is the first step in reclaiming your life. It's the first step in standing up for yourself, for your peace, for your happiness. It's the first step toward freedom. Freedom doesn't come from pleasing others or keeping the peace at all costs. It comes from knowing that you are worthy of respect, that your voice matters, and that no one can make you feel less than. Once you recognize manipulation, you'll no longer allow it to define your relationships or your reality. You'll step into your own power and reclaim your space. The key here is not to fear the manipulators in your life, but to understand them. Don't let them shape your identity or your life. Stand tall and trust that you are strong enough to handle whatever comes your way. Your strength lies not in ignoring manipulation, but in recognizing it and choosing not to participate. The moment you see the manipulation for what it is, you free yourself from its grip. Now, ask yourself, are you willing to keep playing this game? Or are you ready to take your life back? When you choose to see manipulation for what it is, you choose yourself. You choose your peace. You choose your freedom. And that, my friend, is where your true strength lies. You are not weak, and you are not a victim. You are strong, resilient, and capable of living your life with integrity and authenticity. Understanding manipulation is the first step. The rest is up to you. Set boundaries and protect your peace. Setting boundaries is one of the most empowering things you can do for yourself. It's not about pushing people away or creating walls between you and others. It's about protecting your peace, your time, and your emotional energy. Boundaries are the walls you build to keep your spirit safe from being drained by others. When you don't have boundaries, manipulators will walk all over you. They will take as much as you let them, leaving you feeling exhausted, resentful, and disconnected from yourself. So how do you start setting boundaries? It begins with understanding that you have a right to your own space physically, mentally, and emotionally. You have the right to say no when something doesn't feel right. You don't have to explain, justify, or apologize for taking care of your own needs. Your time, your energy, your feelings, they all matter. And when you start respecting yourself enough to honor these things, others will begin to respect you too. But here's the thing. Manipulators don't like boundaries. They'll test them, push against them, and try to make you feel guilty for setting them. They'll tell you that you're being unreasonable, selfish, or mean. But you know what? That's not your problem. That's their problem. You have the right to protect yourself from anyone who tries to undermine your peace. Setting boundaries means learning to say no without feeling bad about it. It means recognizing that you are not responsible for other people's emotions or reactions. If someone is upset because you've chosen to put yourself first, that's their issue, not yours. You are not obligated to make people feel comfortable at the expense of your own well-being. Your peace is sacred, and anyone who tries to disrupt that peace doesn't deserve a place in your life. Boundaries also mean recognizing when someone is crossing a line. It's not just about saying no, it's about recognizing when you're being manipulated or disrespected and calling it out. It's about having the courage to stand up for yourself and assert your needs, even if it's uncomfortable. And it's about knowing that you are worth standing up for. No one gets to make you feel small or insignificant. No one gets to take away your peace. When you set boundaries, you give yourself permission to live authentically. You stop pretending to be someone you're not in order to please others. You stop sacrificing your needs for the sake of others' comfort. You stop overextending yourself just to avoid confrontation. And in doing so, you open the door to a life that is filled with more joy, more peace, and more authenticity. But it's important to remember that setting boundaries is a process. It doesn't happen overnight, and it doesn't always come easily. You may feel guilty at first. You may second guess yourself. But trust me, the more you practice setting boundaries, the easier it becomes. And the more you practice, the more you'll begin to feel empowered and in control of your own life. The key is consistency. Keep setting boundaries, even when it's hard. Keep honoring your needs, even when others try to push you. And when you start to protect your peace with every decision you make, you'll notice something beautiful happen. You'll start to attract people who respect your boundaries. You'll begin to build relationships based on mutual respect and understanding rather than manipulation and control. Remember, your peace is worth protecting. Your emotional well-being is worth prioritizing. And when you learn to set boundaries, you empower yourself to live the life you deserve free from the toxic influence of manipulators. Stand in your power. Let go of guilt. Guilt is one of the most powerful tools manipulators use to control others. They will make you feel guilty for not doing what they want, for not giving them your time or energy, for not being there when they demand it. But let me tell you something. You do not owe anyone your guilt. You do not owe anyone an explanation for choosing your well-being over their demands. When you learn to stand in your power, you let go of the need to please others. You stop allowing guilt to control your decisions. You stop apologizing for prioritizing yourself, for saying no, for choosing peace over chaos. You stop allowing someone else's discomfort to dictate how you live your life. The moment you let go of guilt, you reclaim your freedom. But it's not always easy, is it? We're taught from a young age to put others first, to be kind, to be selfless. And while these are beautiful qualities, they can be distorted by manipulators. They will use your kindness against you, playing on your sense of duty and compassion. But you must remember that being kind does not mean being a doormat. Being selfless does not mean sacrificing your needs for the comfort of others. You are allowed to say no without feeling guilty. You are allowed to take care of yourself without explaining why. You are allowed to set limits and protect your energy even if it makes someone else upset. Guilt only has power over you if you let it. It is a tool that manipulative people use to keep you in a place of servitude. But when you stand in your power, guilt loses its grip on you. You stop letting it control your actions and your decisions. Standing in your power means recognizing your worth. It means knowing that your happiness, your peace, and your emotional health matter just as much as anyone else's. You are not selfish for taking care of yourself. You are not wrong for honoring your own boundaries. And when you release the guilt, you free yourself from the chains of manipulation. Letting go of guilt also means accepting that you will not always be able to make everyone happy. You cannot control how others feel or react. You can only control how you respond. And when you choose to prioritize your well-being, you are making a powerful statement to the world. I am worthy of love, respect, and peace. And anyone who truly values you will understand and respect that choice. Guilt is a heavy burden to carry, but you don't have to carry it anymore. Stand tall, stand firm, and let go of the guilt that has been holding you back. You are allowed to take up space in this world. You are allowed to say no. You are allowed to live a life that is true to yourself. The moment you release guilt is the moment you step into your full power. You no longer let others control you with their demands or expectations. You stop allowing them to manipulate you with their emotions. And in doing so, you create a life that is authentic, free, and full of peace. At the end of the day, dealing with manipulative people is not about changing them. It's about changing how you respond. It's about understanding manipulation for what it truly is. Setting healthy boundaries to protect your peace and standing in your power without feeling guilty. These 3 key steps are not just tools for surviving manipulative relationships. They are tools for thriving in your life. When you recognize manipulation, you free yourself from its hold. When you set boundaries, you take control over your time, your energy, and your emotions. And when you let go of guilt, you step into your own strength and reclaim your worth. You don't need to apologize for choosing yourself, for choosing peace, or for choosing to live authentically. Remember, you are worthy of respect, love, and peace. No one has the right to diminish your value or manipulate your emotions. The power to protect yourself and live on your own terms is within you. When you make the decision to stand firm in your boundaries and not give in to guilt or manipulation, you create a life that aligns with your true self-own that is full of joy, authenticity, and freedom. So, take a deep breath and know this. You have everything you need to protect your peace and take back your power. Trust in yourself, trust in your ability to set boundaries, and trust in your worth. The moment you choose to live free from manipulation is the moment you choose to live fully. And that, my friend, is the greatest gift you can give yourself.